Okay, so today we're here at beautiful Sun Lakes Dry Falls Park in Washington, and I'm going to tell you about my latest project, which is a remote control for the landing gear, which is not really necessary or anything, but it's kind of a cool project. Oh, it's going to be windy, is it? Okay, I didn't want that in my audio, but anyways. So it kind of started with I put in this remote control generator and I got this key fob and it has 4 buttons on it. So I programmed the button A to start the generator, button B to start the generator, stop the generator. I don't know what I said. So then I have C and D buttons, and it was burning a hole in my brain. I was like, what am I going to do with these other 2 buttons? And I was like, could I remote control the slide? And I was like, no, that's not very interesting. So kill that idea. Remote control lights? Maybe. Then I came up with this idea with a remote control slide. I thought, okay, that'll be a fun winter project. So that's what I started out on. So we spent the winter, it was a fun winter project. Oh, it didn't take all winter, but designing the electronics and all that. So the first thing I started was 2 big relays that would handle the current of the landing gear, and I measured that to be 30 amps, so I bought 80 amp relays just to be safe. Pair them, one for up, one for down, and then I had the remote control with C and D available. So that's where it went. So what else can I say? We'll get into the process of what I did to make this happen over the next few minutes. Woo! All right, so today we're going to go over the progress we made on the landing gear remote. First thing you're going to notice is this wood here that's cut to fit in a spot in the front compartment because, well, between the generator in there and the batteries and the inverter and the transfer case, there's not a lot of place to screw things into. Okay, so the first thing, these big relays here, those handle the current for the landing gear. So the landing gear power that's in the trailer now will hook up to here, and this one will be up, and this will be down. And this baby here is the remote control. This guy, solid remote, awesome product by the way. That will provide the remote control capability. So this is all set up and working. So you can hear it click. Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah, and we got the terminal block here for all the power. We'll get this all wired up before we put it in the trailer, or just have to hook up the power, the heavy duty power from the existing power for the trailer to here. And here we're going to hook up a new circuit to the fuse box, and this is going to supply power to the remote control and to a device I haven't put here yet. I'll get into later, some kind of a timer. And this last relay that's not hooked up here, that is going to go with this landing gear switch. This is the existing switch off of the trailer, which handles the full, I don't know, 20 or 30 amps, wherever that thing draws. And it's a reversing switch. So this will take the signal from this reversing switch here and decide which of these 2 relays will get the signal to go up or down. As well as this. And I have come up with a plan, like if someone presses down on this while someone presses up on this, got a plan for that. It won't short out or do anything crazy. So still waiting for the timer to come in so that the system will, after a certain amount of time of in use, it will shut down, so that this baby in my pocket won't accidentally go off, because once I set the locks on the trailer stabilization, if you raise and lower the landing gear, well, you're going to break them. So I've got a plan for that. Watch for that in the next video. Well, actually, it will be the same video, but it'll be just shot later on this. Okay, that's it for today. Alright, today we've completed the control system for the wireless landing gear. And since we last talked, I've installed this relay, which controls whether or not this relay is triggered or this relay is triggered from this switch. It's a polarity reversing switch. And the secret to how that works is the diode on here will only allow this relay to trigger on the up, and the down, the white relay doesn't need to trigger. So that can control either this relay or this relay for up or down. And the other thing we even put in here is this timer, which is going to prevent you from, you know, later on when you've got this in your pocket, after you set up the trailer, from accidentally pushing this in your pocket and causing the trailer to move. And if the stabilization is locked down, of course, it could break the stabilizer bars or bend them or whatever bad shit would happen. So what's going to happen is when you trigger the up button here, that will wake up this relay, start the countdown, and it will provide power to the wireless relay for 5 minutes, or whatever I decide is good enough to do this. And then while it's counting down, the relays can be triggered with this. And then after it times out, you can only trigger it with this switch. Of course, if you trigger it with a switch again, you'll wake up the relay, but that's cool. To install this in the trailer, I've already got these brackets all ready to go, but we're going to have to hook up the heavy-duty power from in the trailer that used to go to this switch to here, and the wires that went from the switch to the landing gear we'll have to install to the relays to control the up and the down. And the last and final thing that we're going to have to do is provide power to here, and I'll hook that into the existing fuse box in the front bay of the trailer. And then we're all ready to go, so I'm going to head out there and install this thing now. Woo! Alright, now it's time to install the control thing in the bay here. So I'll just give you an idea where it's going to go here. It's going to go way, 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 way up in there. Oh. Anyways, and then there's where the switch goes. Right, so we'll get at her now. Alright, so it's all in there now, all hooked up. Yeah, it's a bit of a spaghetti of wires, but they're all secure. They won't jiggle around while we're driving. Yeah, I'll give a demo of it shortly. Alright, so we've got the wireless landing gear all figured out here and set up. And we've got the remote control hooked up, but notice it doesn't work. But as soon as you give it a hit, then, oh, here goes somebody in a car. All right, so once we give this a hit, then the wireless becomes active. Up, down. Oh no, I got that up. This is up. And yeah, so this is cool. Or, yeah, that's it. Now, the idea is that I'm not so lazy that I can't stand there and hold the button, but the plan is to be able to back the truck in from the cab, be able to adjust the height of the landing gear as I'm backing it in. That's what I'm hoping to accomplish with all this. So, woo.